Hi, my name is Johann and I am the CEO and founder of Sol. I'm looking forward to taking you through our small business accounting platform, or small business ledger, as the accountants probably want to call it. What I'm going to do today is at a very high level take you through what features we have available. I'm not going to deep dive or do anything like that, but I guess we've got quite a few training materials, guides, videos, and if all else fails, we actually have a support team that is more than happy to actually contact you. We can share screen with you and we can actually take you through how anything works that you might have questions over. On top of that, we actually also help our users all the time by actually onboarding. So if you're coming across from Excel or if you're coming across from a different application, more than happy to help you set up so you get all of your data in there. It's a bit of a misconception that you have to move on the 1st of July. Anytime during the year, we're more than happy to help you transition across from whether it be Excel, like I said, or a different platform. Where I wanted to start was to let you know that you can actually run multiple businesses through Sol. So I know that you may have your main business, and then as well as you might run a hobby business, or you might actually have 2 or 3 entities that you want to run. Now you can do all of that through one Sol subscription. And what the benefit of that is, I guess, is you can actually see a consolidated dashboard out of all of that, as well as consolidated reporting. I know there is some schematics around that when you're actually having a company or running everything as a sole trader under an ABN. So there are rules that are in place, but everything is set up so that that can actually get automated. So what I mean by that is we could click into this one as an example, and if you wanted to, then you can obviously flick between them at the top there as well. Where you will actually land then is on the dashboard. Now, the dashboard is everything around your performance. So we're looking at your income, we're looking at your expenses, where's your money going, what is your cash flow at? You're able to set goals, like you can see at the top there, and we actually track, how you're performing this month versus last month, as well as against last year. The reason that's important is so that you can actually see, if you're improving, if you're actually hitting those milestones that you've got planned. Now, I'm not going to go into too much more detail on the dashboard, but there's some really good, materials and videos that give you an overview of what everything on here means. From a navigation perspective, you've got a little bar at the top here that you can actually search. So if you wanted to send an invoice, it's as easy as go and create invoice. I find that this really helps if you ever get lost in the application, that you've, got this bar at the top that you can really go to, really easily go to and be able to find out, what you need to do. On the right-hand side here, you can see, you've got a chat box and you also got a schedule a support session. So you can actually, talk to our team. You can share your screen and we can actually help you if you've got a question. We've also, I know this is in the dev environment, so it's not here, but there's a chat bot that'll pop up on the right-hand side here when you log onto your screen. And in there, you can actually chat to the AI chatbot who has been trained specifically to answer questions about Sol. Or if you need to talk to a real human being, you can do so in there as well if you prefer to do that over a call. Next, what I wanted to take you through is something called the Unibox. Now, the Unibox is all about what are the things that you need to do if you've got 5 minutes. Because what we know is, as a small business owner, you're really short on time. So as an example, you've got invoice 16 here that's 8 days overdue. So what we're looking at doing for this is to be able to send a follow-up to the client and say, hey, you haven't paid me. Can you please do so? Now, usually what will end up happening is you'd have to go to your sales module, go to the links, filter for overdue invoices, find it, write it down, maybe even go to your email and actually send it. In Sol, it's as easy as hitting that follow-up button, and that reminder has actually been sent to your client. Now, we've probably automated it for this client as well, but obviously after 8 days, you probably want to prompt them again. So it's as easy as that. There's a few other things that you can do in the Unibox, across all of the modules. So I won't go into too much detail, but you've got the opportunity to actually stay on the screen and perform all the key actions as opposed to having to go through each module. But it's up to you. That is still available if you want to do it the old school way. But this is really the new way of making it a lot easier for you to actually take that action. Just moving on. So we've actually got open banking built into the application. So you can sync, like you can see there, we've got 4 bank accounts synced at the top. The benefit of, how we do it versus some of our other competitors is that with open banking, you actually log into your bank's bank account. So as opposed to providing us your details and then us logging you in, we actually get you to log into their account, so there's a lot more security there. From here, you can obviously add and match your bank accounts. Your bank transactions to do your accounting and reconcile. So similar to what you probably would have done before. And you can see in this account, as an example, I've now matched those to those categories, which means that it helps the accountant. And then when you're doing your end of financial year reporting, everything is already categorized. Now, if you don't want to upload your bank account for whatever reason, you can do that manually just through a CSV. It's completely up to you, and it's very easy to do. You've got your buttons right there. You've also got automation. So we've got an AI tool, like I said, built in that'll automatically help you classify your transactions. But you can also set up hard rules, going to Bunnings, something for your revenue, that can automatically then categorize those, meaning that you don't have to worry about it and all the accounting can be automated. Once again, if you need any help with this, the team's more than happy to help you set this up, and we can keep this really, really nice and easy for you. Another thing that I'm personally very excited about are all of our payment solutions. So you've got Stripe natively built in. You don't have to integrate it yourself. You can just log in and start using it. But even better, we've actually got SolPay. Now, SolPay is really important and something I'm really passionate about, because we've actually negotiated really, really good rates, because we know others such as Stripe is actually quite expensive. Now, this works in your app as well, already integrated. You just basically sign up. You will need to do your KYC, and then bang, you'd be able to do direct debits, instant payments, Google payments, Apple payments, direct debits, anything that you may need is actually in there. We've also got a really cool functionality with Next Tap. So what that means is that your phone actually turns into a tap and go solution. So you can actually send your invoice, tap that card, and the invoice will automatically send to your client, no problems at all. So that is very cool as well. I know both of these are saying coming soon. It's just because we're in the development solution. In the production solution, they're actually available. So you'd be able to just sign up to those if you'd like. Going through next, you've got the ability to send quotes. You can actually, and I'll go through how you can set your templates and things, but you can send quotes. You can convert those into invoices. You can then obviously send invoices. And you can see here, we've sent quite a few invoices in this one. But very easily, you can actually come here. You can save templates. We've got templates saved for each industry. So we actually work with over 50 industries, and each of those industries have tailored invoice and quote templates to make it even easier for you to manage. But you can create your own templates at the bottom here. In the actual invoice, you've got multi-currency. So if you're working with AUD for this client and USD for another, not a problem at all. You can definitely do that within here. You can take discounts, you can take deposits, as well as GST. The discounts and the GST actually work by line item, as you can see here, or you've got the opportunity to obviously do that as an overall as well. On top of that, you've got the ability here, like you said, I've saved the product called ASDF. So I'll show you how that works in the products and services listing, but your products actually come up, and that then actually saves the pricing as well. For those NDIS users that we've got, you can see here that we've actually linked this into the NDIA. So that means that you don't have to look at that PDF anymore. You can actually come in here and actually just use this, and it automatically syncs, and you've got the latest and greatest information. There's a couple of cool things like making sure you can follow up work. So let's say that you've got a service that you want to sell in 6 months' time again. A reminder can automatically be sent to your client. It'll automatically follow up if it's overdue. And you can even set up a repeating invoice as well, or an invoice in the future if you do need to do that. Like I said, you've got Apple Pay, Google Pay, direct debit, all of that through the SolPay solution, as well as Stripe if you prefer to use that instead. Like I said, for the WorldPay, it is, or the SolPay, I should say, is underwritten by WorldPay. It actually provides a lot better rates than what you get with Stripe. So, I would highly encourage you to do that. Once again, if you have any questions, more than happy for you to reach out to our team. I won't go into too much detail, but you can do your refunds in here as well. I've mentioned the products and services listing. So, you set up your listing once, and then it reminds you or remembers all of your pricing, making it super easy to do your invoicing. You've got the ability to manage your inventory here, like you can see. So very easy to do. From a sales settings perspective, maybe you're coming from a different application or from an Excel. You may have sent some invoices in the past, so you can actually set that up so you keep that recurring number, as opposed to actually going through and having to start from number one again. You can set your logo and your colors. There's all of your social and information there. Some other invoice and quote customizations. But most importantly, probably, you can set your invoice style here, like you can see. And we've got quite a few styles. I've loaded 6 here as an example. And you can customize these. So this is really important because we know that is, critical for you, and that this is, the face of your business, really. So we want to make sure that this is really professional and that it meets all of your requirements. So you can kind of set that and work through what they look like. If I'm just moving on, you can manage your expenses. So obviously you'll be going to Bunnings or whatever it might be. On your mobile phone app, you can actually scan that and it'll OCR or automatically fill in the details from the receipt. You can do the same thing here in the computer application, so the web app. So, we've got a mobile application from iOS and Android with all of the features that I'm going through today is in there as well. But you can obviously do that here as well by just uploading a receipt, or you can create one manually and then you'll just have to type it in. We've got a business planner. So from a business planner perspective, you've got an overview here that kind of says, this is where all of your cash is, but you can use it to actually set some goals. You can build a budget, and you can also do a business planner. Now, the business planner is, let's say you want to buy 2 trucks. You've got $30,000 in cash and you need potentially another 30 grand. Now, what does that mean? From a expansion opportunity, you want to be able to work out your return on investment. You want to be able to work out your payback period, maybe. This does all of that for you. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to build a spreadsheet. It actually works it out for you here and then actually helps you track to that goal if you do need to save a bit of money. I won't go into the vendor refund. So you've got super contributions. So if you're working for yourself and you want to be able to track your super, you can do that here. There's also a payroll solution in here, fully SDP compliant. If you've got a little team that you work with, you can do your timesheets, you can do your payroll, you can do everything you need through that, which means that you can kind of use it end to end to kind of run your business. From an assets perspective, there's quite a lot that you can do in here as well. You've got depreciation. You've got the ability to manage your assets like you normally would. But on top of that, we've actually built in the ability in our advanced asset module to track your warranty, but also, take a photo of the asset, the VIN number, the warranty if you need it. But then if you do end up, unfortunately, if someone steals your stuff, you can actually raise a police report and an insurance report directly through our application. So that makes it really, really easy for you to keep track of all of that, and then you don't miss out if something like that happens, unfortunately. Just to make sure that I'm keeping this nice and short, I'm just going to keep going down. If you're a kind of business that needs a little bit more than just sending a invoice or a quote, we've actually built a full proposal management system in here for you. So you can set, whether it's recurring, whether it's a once-off, time and materials, it's completely up to you. You can obviously set your services, all of that, build out templates, whatever you might need to do to make this a recurring process. And it's fully customizable, like you can see on the right. So as you're typing in here, things on the right-hand side is actually showing you what your client's going to see. They can do full signing, acceptance, everything flows through here, and then we actually send that invoice and make it work. Fantastic. Just going to leave this one. Maybe not for everyone, but for your accountants, it's probably really important for you to be able to track your loans and your equity or capital. So you can do that here. That then links through to all of your accounting side of things. And then, you can work with your accountant on that, essentially. You can manage all of your contacts in here. So you can upload all of them from your mobile phone. You can bulk upload them here. But what is really important, I guess, and one of our biggest questions we actually get is to be able to manage it from a business perspective. So what I mean by that is that you can actually have one business, but multiple contacts through that. So if you have, a person A and a person B that you're working with, you can manage both of them under the one company name, making it really easy for you to keep track and be able to, manage who you're selling to. Maybe not for everyone, but for the accountants, you've got a full reporting suite. So profit and loss, balance sheet, cash flow, trial balance. I know that the balance sheet and cash flow is not coming up here. It's just because we're in the dev environment. You'll definitely see that if you go into the end product. But in there, essentially, I guess, your accountant can actually have access to these, so whether you choose to send it to them, or you can actually give them access and they can actually log into your account. There's a big log, so they can't make any changes without you knowing what they've done. But that way they can double check and just makes it easier for that process. So you don't have to get into that email back and forth with your accountant. We also offer a very fantastic practice management software to accounting firms for free. So if you think that your accountant could benefit from something like that, please feel free to reach out to them or give us their contact details and we can reach out to them as well. Cool. I might skip down then to the migrations. If you are joining us from a different application or from an Excel sheet that you've been working on, you can actually upload all of that into this platform. Really easy. We can also help you do it. So we can do this over a call with you. And what that means is that, you can really start not from scratch and you've got all of your things loaded and you've got a full suite ready to go. One of the other cool things that I'm really positive about is helping our customers build a lot better reputation in the marketplace. And that's what we've built out here. So there's an automatic survey that gets sent out to your customers if you'd like. They give you a star rating of 1 to 5. If you get a 1 to 3, we actually capture that feedback for you so you can see how you're going or see how your staff is going. Whereas, if they give you a 4 or a 5 star, they actually get prompted to say, hey, did you want to give us a review on Facebook or Google Business as an example? And what that would mean is that you would actually be able to keep improving your reputation out in the marketplace. So we're really trying to protect and only get 4 or 5 star ratings on the public space, but giving you the feedback so that you know what we need to work on internally. I can just keep going down. So we've got a full project management tool built into this as well. So you've got the ability to manage your projects, manage your clients, but also, down to that job or milestone level as well. You can add invoices and expenses, track all of that to budget, as well as then add some tasks if you need to. So you can actually track that to budget as well if you want. This works really well with both or only if you have a time tracking or if you're just doing it generally. I'm thinking tradies, I'm thinking virtual assistants. You can really track that for each of the individual clients. Graphic designers as an example as well. It makes it really clear so you're actually managing to that budget, exactly what you've spent and to make sure that you're not going over that budget. I'm going to skip down to the time tracker. So like I said, that works quite well with the time tracker. For this, you can actually do a start stop like you've got at the top here. You can do a timesheet like a weekly log. But on top of that, you can also add manual entries if there's something there that you do need to, you've forgotten to press the start button as an example. These all convert to invoices like I can show you there or there. You can also attach this as evidence to the back of the invoice. Works seamlessly, and it's really, really easy for you to then track your time, convert it to an invoice, and get paid like that. There's also a calendar built in. Now, this links into your Google Calendar, Microsoft Calendar, or you can just use the Sol Calendar. The reason this is so powerful and I'm so passionate about it is because we've actually put a planner over the top. Now, as an example, here is a billable task that I've added to my calendar. If I bring it across and say it's done, it'll actually prompt me to create that invoice. Really keeping me on track and saying, hey, we're making sure that you're not losing that. So, you can create your invoice here. It'll actually generate it there. You can go, oh, we've actually checked. You already have one of these in your draft. Did you want to use this one? And you can use that one or you can create a new one and it'll basically pre-fill everything for you. We've also got a booking link. Now you get this with Sol. So instead of having to use Calendly and paying for a second subscription, you can actually use this. It still links in with your calendar. You can still book your calls. But on top of that, then it actually feeds into that planner and calendar we've just gone through. So you basically have all of that automation and workflow without having to do anything. It just works out of the box. We've also got a kilometer tracker. In the kilometer tracker, essentially, you've got the opportunity for a logbook method or for a cents per kilometer. I know it's not set up here because I haven't activated it in the settings, but essentially you'd be able to do that and you'd be able to track, whether you want to do it through the logbook or the cents per kilometer. The best part is you don't have to click start and stop in your car and then it drains all your battery as you're driving. It actually has Google Maps integrated. So you would type the start address, the end address, make sure the route is correct, and it'll work it all out, including your tolls, your parking, all of those different things as well. And then you're very compliant and it's very easy for you to manage that for your tax. For those people who also have an investment property, we actually have that you can track, all of your active and disposed properties in here. So it works at your CGT, but also, all your rental income, all of your expenses, making sure you can do your deductions. If you're negative gearing a property as well, you can use that in here to be able to do that. So I won't go into too much detail. I haven't set up any properties here, but you can kind of see here, there's quite a lot of detail, and this is much better than running it through a spreadsheet. I can tell you that much. In addition, we've got a couple of resources. There's a lot more on the website. We're very education focused. The biggest one I'd say would be the Tax Estimator. So in the Tax Estimator, you can actually have this automated. So you can see at the top here, this has been automated. There's some income there. It'll actually work out your tax requirements. So if I go through this and I can calculate that tax, it'll actually work out, how much tax I have. You can work out your deductions. You can do your different things. And it'll actually calculate that on the right-hand side for me. If I go down here to the growth and marketing, there's a free few tools that you can use here. Free business planner, free component to work out your marketing. We've actually got a really good partner in Evolve Digital that you can reach out to if you need any help with this kind of stuff. But we've really built some really cool tools with them to help you structure how to actually grow your business. Similarly, we've got some free legal support from Sprint Law. So you can reach out to Alex and the guys there, and they'd be able to help you. But you can kind of see, especially when you're setting up and starting your business, this is really critical. And we see a lot of our customers actually do this. If you know someone who could benefit from Sol, you can actually make $50 and they can get 3 months off their subscription. So you've got the ability to actually do that here as well. You will just be typing in their email. So I highly encourage you to do that and share the love. We've got a Sol community page, so that's quite active. I would think of that as a Reddit page as an example, but focused on running small business and having like-minded people, as well as accountants and other experts that kind of contribute there. So if you've got a question, please feel free to hop in there and ask that. That's complimentary with any Sol subscription. We've got other perks. So if you need an accountant, if you need, insurance, what we've done is we've negotiated some really, really good rates that you can actually take advantage of, and you should be able to get access to that through this as well. And I guess that's it. I know that this has been an exceptionally long video, and I've spoken really quickly because I wanted to get through it. But look, I'm very excited. I think that this is a fantastic product. Like I said, from a pricing perspective, it's really, really important for us that you get to build the application that you want to see. So what I mean by that is that we're not going to put you into a tier. It's not going to cost you $80 or $100 and you get access to everything, but you don't want to use all of that. Essentially, you get to pick which modules that we went through today that you actually need, and then you only use those. You only pay for those. And then whenever you're ready, or if you want something else, you just add it on, and then you can build your own stack that makes it work exactly like you need it to. Look, I'm really hoping that this video was helpful. I know that we didn't get into the details of how it works, but I hope it gives you a good overview and shows you how much there is to this product, and how you can tailor it and use it to really speed up how you do your business and really increase, hopefully, how much money you can actually make, and keep on track of that admin, because we know it's really important, as well as your cash flow. So thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I really appreciate it. I really hope that you decide to join the Sol family and that we can work together. And I'm looking forward to helping you and your business grow. Have a great time, and I'm sure we'll chat again soon. Goodbye.